Hello friends, vinyl community, music lovers, Wes here checking in with another episode of the Vinyl Survivor. This is where I pull 5 albums that are new to my ears from the inbox, clean them up, give them a listen, let you know what I thought of each one. So let's go ahead and get into this episode. First album I have here to talk about is one that needs no introduction, one that's pretty well known to most people here in the VC, well known to music lovers worldwide. It's one that everybody says you should have in your collection, so I finally got a chance to add this to my collection this year, and that is Miles Davis's Kind of Blue. One of those jazz classics that everybody says you must own. I finally got a chance to pick this up on Amazon this year and added it to the collection, and I'm really glad I did. I really enjoyed listening to this. It's really beautiful music. I can see why it is loved the world over. Julian Adderley, John Coltrane, Wynton Kelly, Bill Evans, Paul Chambers, and James Cobb also play on here. Of course, as I said, I picked this up on Amazon, so this is a modern reissue. I believe it was pressed at RTI based on this pinkish sleeve here, but it's not the normal frosted sleeve that I'm used to seeing with RTI pressings, so I don't know if this is not RTI and this is somebody trying to make it look like RTI, or if this is RTI and they changed their sleeves. But nonetheless, this is a good sounding pressing. I'm very happy with it. Probably 180 gram vinyl or close to it. Really nice, quiet sounding pressing. Sort of a redo of the original Columbia 6i label there. And it says 2010 on here, so I guess this is a remaster from 2010 maybe. But a classic album from 1959. Little tidbit of info. This photograph here, this cover photograph, was taken by Jay Mizell, very well-known street photographer. I guess he also did some work with musicians and whatnot. And still kicking today, still alive, still taking pictures. So I've been studying photography a lot recently, and it was cool to sort of see his name on here and be able to link two of my interests together. So Miles Davis, Kind of Blue, going in the collection, obviously. Next thing I have to talk about is the most recent release from Derek Higgins here in the vinyl community. This is his album Nice. Some tracks here pulled from an original CDR he did back in 2001, as well as some new reworkings of stuff. Pretty good mix of Derek's music here. You got some of his instrumental sort of guitar driven music. You got some of his ambient sound work. You have some vocal song, more traditional songs on here, as well as some collaborations with other artists on here. He collaborates with Bill Farber, Jeff Clayman, Mimi Schreider, Tom Ware, and Chris Oliver, who is also here in the VC, and Christopher Erickson as well. He says these tracks were recorded between 1984 and 2012. So just a pretty cool new release from Derek. Has a nice insert with the lyrics to "Love from Above," one of the songs on here with vocals, just Derek by himself. Actually, no, not by himself. There are some background vocals on that, but he sings the main vocals on that track. One of my favorite songs on the album, I would say. And he pressed these on both yellow vinyl, which I purchased, as well as black vinyl. So that's Derek Higgins with Nice from 2013, and that one is going in my collection with the rest of my Derek albums, and I really enjoy collecting these and listening to them and hearing his music, and being able to watch his channel some and get to know him a little bit sort of helps to appreciate the music and where he's coming from more. So really enjoyed that. Okay, moving on. We talked about a couple of Madness albums in the last episode and how I really didn't like them. Well, this is the previous album to those. It's actually a compilation. This is the self-titled album from Madness. It features the song Our House, which was the big hit here in the States. Also features Tomorrow's Just Another Day, which is the theme song to the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, whatever Craig Ferguson's late night show is. Another cool song. And this is much better, in my opinion, than those two follow-up albums. This is much more traditional ska sounding to me. I live in Gainesville, Florida, where Less Than Jake are from, a great ska band. This is a lot more to my liking. I really enjoyed this quite a bit. So the other two Madness albums were strikes for me. This one is a home run. They just nailed it under the wire. The insert here has a funny picture of the band lying down, and then the lyrics on the back. It's pretty cool. And this is on the white label Geffen again, and has Artisan, the drum, and the dead wax, so mastered at Artisan. And it also has the rifle and the dead wax, so pressed at Winchester again. Good sounding and good music, so that definitely draws me in when you get good music and an enjoyable album, an enjoyable, even though it's a compilation, it's good music, and I think ska music is not something that necessarily has to be listened to as an album. It's more of a fun, upbeat, party, danceable kind of music, so it's perfectly fine for me to have a compilation like this, I think. Yeah. So that one is going in the collection. Alright, next up, moving into the world of electronics, we have an album from Tangerine Dream, German electronic rock, I guess you could say, group. This is Force Majeure on Virgin Records from 1979. Features the title track, takes up all of side A, and then you also have Cloudburst Flight and Through Metamorphic Rocks on side B. And this is very spacey, electronic, synth programming that really tells a story. This isn't electronic music that you're gonna put on in a club and dance to. This is very space out, spacey kind of electronic music. The kind of electronic music that I personally enjoy a lot. I really did enjoy this a lot. This was really cool. This is my first Tangerine Dream album. I hope to be able to find more in the future. I'm always on the lookout for them. They're not necessarily easy to find. This is on Virgin International, a tan and red label. Don't think I've seen this label before. May have it on some of the other things that I have in the inbox still that I'm waiting to listen to, that Mike Oldfield and some other electronic musicians. But really cool album. Like I said, I've always been on the lookout for Tangerine Dream albums, and I'll be on the lookout for them even more after hearing this. And also the first pressing of this was on clear vinyl. This is obviously not a first pressing, it's on black vinyl, but if you're out in the field and you find one of these on clear vinyl, then you have a first pressing of this. Cool nonetheless. This was actually another Salvation Army find, so I only paid 50 cents for it, which is really awesome. Tangerine Dream, Force Majeure, like it, going in the collection. Okay, the final thing we have to talk about today is somewhat of an outtakes and a B-side sort of album. This is Pete Townsend with the album Scoop, a 2 LP set he released of just different things he recorded, alternate takes, songs that were sort of in progress. Very, very interesting collection of stuff. I feel like Pete Townsend would be something to check out. 2 LP set. Interesting things. You got like an acoustic version of Behind Blue Eyes, some outtakes from Quadrophenia on here. Just interesting stuff if you're a Who fan or a Pete Townsend fan. Just something to pick up if you find this. I think this is a dollar bin type record. It doesn't really have any value to it, but it's just an interesting thing to listen to. So it'd be worth picking up for $1 and just spinning it. Even if you only played it once, just to hear it, it'd be cool. Cool thing to check out. You get some really nice liner notes on each track explaining what each track is and where it was recorded and when and why, and sort of what the thought was behind each one. So that's really nice to sort of follow along and listen to each track and get sort of a behind the scenes take. This is kind of like the bonus features on your favorite DVD. You just get sort of the behind the scenes and the extra little outtakes and cuts and things like that. So a cool little collection. Another one that came from Salvation Army. I think I'm in a section of my inbox where I bought a lot from the Salvation Army. This is pressed on Atco Records, and it has a gray and purple label, SRC in the dead wax, so that was pressed at Specialty, as a lot of the ones that I've been talking about recently have been. But yeah, good album. Pete Townsend, Scoop, There's also Scoop 2 and Scoop 3 available that he released in subsequent years. I believe Scoop 2 was 87 and Scoop 3 was the early 2000s sometime. Yeah, cool compilation, sort of behind the scenes, background sort of stuff. So yeah, that was 5 more albums, all 5 going in the collection this time, so definitely hit a home run on this one. Really good batch of albums, really enjoyable, definitely very different genres and stuff here, so I hope you found something here you like. And I thank you for watching this episode of The Vinyl Survivor. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe, and you will be kept up to date when I have new episodes. So thank you again, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.